Even now, Brahmakumaris are spreading the word of our Upanishads and our teachings all across the world. ISKCON has built temples all over the world. And similarly, Sandeep Chaitanya, Sudeep Chaitanya, who has built a school of Bhagavad Gita, and we have Jaggi Vasudev, then we have the Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, and many such, our Ramdev in Delhi and Bhumananda in Kerala. They have all established small mutts preaching Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. As I mentioned earlier, I am going to tell you later on as to the significance of India to the whole mankind. And now I am only trying to say how the manifestation is there so that people should not fear anymore. That something may go wrong, and as long as avatars like Sai Baba came to India and brought birth in India, it seems that he will live another 10-15 years more. Thereafter he will be born again as Prema Sai somewhere in Mandya. It seems that his mother is already born, and therefore India's concepts of philosophy, which will be one of the subjects which I will be discussing in this series, has been proved true. The word, nobody dies, we are only changing our body, and therefore the cycle, the chakra or the wheel will go on. Punaravi Jananam, Punaravi Maranam, similar as been described by our Shankaracharya, that goes on. And therefore when we are going to discuss mankind as an entity in this series, in the last part of the series, I want you to know that things are going in the right direction. In America, I am told that 52 American universities and colleges are teaching Bhagavad Gita. Three universities you can take a degree in a PhD in Hinduism. Even Dharmaram College in Bangalore is teaching, can take a degree in Hinduism. It's only great pity, and I would say tragedy also, that in this land of Bharata, in this land of Hinduism, in the only country in the world where Hindus are a majority besides tiny Nepal, all our 300 universities, 30,000 colleges, first grade colleges, and 2,000 management institutes, 2,000 engineering colleges, and 1 million schools in India. They do not teach anything of Indian culture or anything of Indian philosophy, because of a misinterpretation of the word called secularism. The word secularism, India, Hinduism itself is secular. As I described in the first day, Hinduism itself is secular. It accepts all religions as true. We worship Jesus, we can also worship Muhammad, or I would say Allah. All religions are only different paths to same Godhood, as one greatness of India. I told you the Mahavakyas of India. We are the first people in the world to say Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, that the whole world be happy. We never said only Indians should be happy. We never said only Hindus should be happy. We said that the whole world be happy, including animals and nature be happy. We are the first people to say Ano Bhadraha Kratavo Yandu Vishwadaha. We are the first people to say that, saying that let noble thoughts come from every side. About 50 conquerors in the world, people like Caesar, Alexander, and Ghazni, Ghori, Alauddin Khilji, and many others, wherever they went, they destroyed the local culture. They destroyed the Aztec culture. They destroyed all the cultures in North America and South America. Europeans took over North America, took over South America, took over Australia. What I would say, took over, usurped their land, and established their culture there, replacing the local culture. While as in India, we had never done that. We said, let noble thoughts come everywhere. Even Gandhiji said, I shall keep all my doors and windows open so that the cultures of the world, the thoughts of the world may enter my room. But believe me, I may listen to everything, but I cannot be swept away. It's a great pity in India that people have forgotten about Indian culture. They know more about Western culture, and that too the wrong ones. We should imitate whatever is good, whether it's in China or in Russia or in America or in Europe or even in the tribals of Africa. We should take everything that is good in every part of the world. That is why we said, let noble thoughts come from everywhere. We are the first people to say that Ishwar, Allah, Tere Naam. Gandhiji, in all his prayer meetings, he started off by saying Ishwar, Allah, Tere Naam. I have already mentioned the sloka before, but lest we forget that all children should recite this sloka. Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaraha Ishwaram pradigacchati. That means whatever be the name you call it, Ekam, Sad, Vipra, Vivita, Vadanti. What does that mean? God is known by very names, but truth is one, God is one, godliness one, divinity is one, universal consciousness is one. In fact, there's a misunderstanding that Hinduism has got 32,000 crores gods and so on. That's all not true at all. That's all imagery. That's only to describe various characteristics. Ishvara, the word Ishvara itself means what? E stands for the mind or thought process or the mind. Swa stands for breath, and Ra, friction, and that's called fire. When mind and breath and the heat in the body goes away, you are dead. We are dead, and therefore it is Ishvara who keeps the mind going, the heat in the body going, and also the breath going. We don't take any effort to breathe. We don't take any effort to keep our temperature in the body at 98.4. Who digests the food within us? Who ensures that all of us have got 32 teeth? Who ensures that man has got beard and women do not get beard, and so on? We will discuss that later on, except to say the point that we are the first people to say the whole world is one. And Shankara's contribution is that. Shankara proved that whether you are a black person or a white man or a yellow man like in China and Japan, or a brown people from Turkey to India, and Polynesians, whatever be your ethnicity or race or language or religion in the world, all these are only different paths for enabling us to go forward in the spiritual path towards what is called God. Even Christians say we to merge with God. And as you know, Shankara brought this Advaita philosophy as distinct from, or I would say it's only different interpretation of Madhvacharya's dualistic theory and Ramanujacharya's what is called Vishishta Advaita or qualified monism or qualified Advaita. We get into that later at a different stage. Now, what is the other evidence that the whole India is going to be revitalized, a renaissance is going to come, and that's the only thing that will remove Dukkha Nivarti, Sukha Prapti and Manashanti. Any amount of affluence, any amount of wealth, any amount of power and positions, any amount of IT and BT, any amount of mechanization and automation cannot give us happiness. Happiness can come only through what is called a Atma Jnana or Atmiyatva or spirituality. The great debate whether materialism came first, whether spirituality came first, whether mind came first or matter came first, that duality, Nishke, and many Schopenhauer and Spinoza and many have been discussing for ages together this debate which is going on. It's only Shankara who was able to quash all these debates, proving to the point they are all only Maya or Avidya or ignorance, and therefore another evidence, just like in the case of Sai Baba coming at this time and just at the time when the whole world is recognizing. Now we are bringing out a book in the next 1 month. We had already done it in the last year. 500 scholars of the West, 500 scholars of the West, some living, some in the last century, what they have written about India. It has been said by Arnold Toynbee and Will Durant, the greatest of historians for the world, who wrote 10,000 pages of world civilization. Both Arnold Toynbee, Will Durant, who have studied Sanskrit and have written that India is the cradle of civilizations, mother of the human race, grandmother of all European languages. Sanskrit is the mother of all major European languages, great grandmother of Sanskrit, great grandmother of science and technology, and great grandmother of all of us in the whole mankind. And therefore it is only through India, and all civilizations started from the Saraswati river. Now during the time in the previous regime, they have traced the river Saraswati, which is no longer existing now. The Saraswati river became extinct due to some unknown reasons which has not been discovered yet, but it has been traced starting from somewhere in Haryana, beyond Himalayas, through the Haryana Punjab plateau. It has come down to the Rajasthan, Gujarat, and the Bay of Bengal, Bay of Cambay. It went to the Indian Ocean, and the Saraswati river, it was there that civilization started and spread to all parts of the world. It has been proved beyond any doubt that the Western historians who said that Aryans came from outside is a myth, is a misunderstanding or a misinterpretation, just to prove that Indians were only not the indigenous people. All knowledge came from the Caucasian region. It is not true. It has been now convinced, and many books have come to prove the point that civilization started from India, and it's only, behold, it's only proper that we, the inheritors of this great heritage, understand what is this Saraswati